And welcome back to the NoDQ.com YouTube channel. Of course, Aaron Riff, NoDQ here on YouTube. I am the humble former champion, the challenger today, Jeff Meacham. Of course, with me today, still, the reigning, defending, undefeated for 390 days, undisputed, no DQ Wrestling Trivia champion, the Pennsylvania sensation himself, Greg. I said it on the show, but my goodness.
Thank you very much.
Just gosh darn ridiculous. And the thing is, we were talking about this off air. I'm exhausted again watching it back.
Yeah. I mean, it was... I'll tell you what. Like, even though we knew the results,
yeah,
it's still kind of ridiculous.
What I'm proud of is, other than your wife and my family here in the house, nobody knew except Aaron. And I'm proud that we all kept that a secret for a week and a half.
Yeah, I mean, we kept this under wraps, and it was so hard to do. It was hard to do, because obviously we want to tell people like how epic it was. I mean, we could just say it was epic. We couldn't give away the result, but the fact that... Yeah, I was glad that we were able to go an hour and neither one of us blew each other out of the water. Like, if it would have been like 10 or 15 questions in one person's favor, that wouldn't have been fun to watch. But
yeah, so for me, it's one of those things where I was sure the momentum had turned when you got the genetic question right and I missed it. I said Brad Armstrong, but it actually stayed close the entire time, right up until the very, very end.
Mm-hmm. It did, and... You know, I was glad I pulled out the genetic question. I forget which other question I got from you. I think it was the Judy Bagwell on a pole match. I stole that one.
You did, because I said Rick Steiner, because Rick Steiner was so close associated with Bagwell. It just kind of led into that.
Right.
The minute I said it, I went, shit. So
well, Steiner and Bagwell were more like 98 time frame, and the Judy Bagwell on a pole match was Russo era, so...
Okay, well, see, I knew it was Russo. I just, for some reason, I just put Bagwell, put Steiner in that spot. I don't know why. But, yeah, it's just, it's funny. People in the chat room saying I knew, people could tell. It's like, well, then why don't you say anything for the last week and a half, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. If you knew, message us in private and say, hey, just so you know, I think so-and-so. We wouldn't have told you either way. Because we had to keep this under wraps. We had to let people think about it. And honestly, like I said, I think I was more nervous going into the premiere and being in the chat room tonight than I was last week when we filmed this. Because, there was pressure on both of us to perform. And we, according to everybody we've talked to, exceeded expectations when we filmed this and when we aired this tonight. Mm-hmm. But the reaction for me was more of a game changer, because I wanted to know what people thought, and people can now say what they want about you, man. But 390 is no joke.
No, and it's 390 and counting.
Yep, it is now.
Yeah, I put my mind where my mouth was, because the match with you is the reason if I would have lost, then I felt like my entire reign would have been invalidated. Because
okay.
And I mean that with, like, all due respect, because...
Of course.
Like, you were the major hurdle in my entire reign, and people would be like, oh, Jeff can beat him. Jeff can just beat him twice. It's fine. It's like, I have to successfully defend the title against Jeff in order for this reign to, like, mean something.
And it's funny, and you pointed out to me, and we were talking on Messenger prior to the premiere, it seemed like the momentum toward me had turned my way in the last couple days. Like, people were, especially in the No DQ family, the No DQ staff, the No DQ team, whatever you want to call our little group of misfits. Mm-hmm. They were all Team Cherry, Team Greg, Team Cherry. But the last couple days, I've seen a couple people go, maybe Jeff pulled this off.
Yeah.
And Lord, no, I wanted to. Today's Dylan's birthday. He's not even here, for crying out loud. And I really wanted to give him a good birthday present. But you know what? That was the reason I said it in the first place when I put the promo up about Dylan, because I wanted people to react. I wanted people to feel that this was important to me to pull off on this particular day in history, that I would get the title back for my son and just make it more dramatic when it didn't happen.
Right. I'm reading through some of the comments, and I specifically want to point out Boston Punk. He says that I've become the Tom Brady of no DQ, which obviously my distaste for Boston is well documented, but
yes.
I can't. I have to agree with the comparison as much as I don't want to. Because Tom Brady has, he's won 6 championships, more than any other quarterback in history in the NFL. So,
would that make Fame your Bill Belichick then?
I don't know if Fame would want to be Bill Belichick. Yeah, maybe he's my Gronk. I don't know.
Maybe he's your Gronk. Maybe he's
possibly.
There you go. I'll go with that because everybody knows that everybody hates Bill Belichick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Seriously, we have a standing rule in this house. Whether Dylan's here or not, whenever he gets on the screen, we go F Bill Belichick. We say more than just the F.
Yeah.
When he comes on screen every single time, every time, because we all hate him. And Brady, it depends how much Brady's cheating that game. He gets that treatment too.
Virtue mentioned that he was picking you the whole time, and he's right. He never wavered. He thought you were winning the entire time. So
he only really wavered during the match itself. When you pulled ahead, never looked back. Like when you got ahead by about 2 or 3 there, he was like, "Up, it's over." And you know what? Everybody else was too. Everybody saw right in the wall. When I got to about 37 to 33 or whatever it was, people knew, "Oh hell, it's over." And you know what? Looking back, I think because neither one of us knew the score during the recording, but I think that once I missed the ones I missed, I kind of went kind of like I hate to bring up horribly bad laundry, but when you got discredited for the timing of the Daniels AJ question, and I got it right, that deflated you completely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a title back. For me, missing those, I kind of went, ugh, fine.
I was going to say that I believe once I got the which state had the most WrestleManias question, I think at that point, I knew I was ahead. I didn't know the score. I thought I was only ahead by like 1 point at the time. I didn't realize it was 3.
Right.
Because like I tried to do the math in my head, but it's hard to do the math in your head and focus on the questions at the same time. So I always think I'm behind. So I thought
I was gonna keep score off to the side. I didn't look like I was cheating. I did have a timer on this side. I had my phone up here on this side as a timer, to see how close we were. And once Aaron started asking the last question, and my timer went off before it was getting ready to go off. This is it. This is the last one. And then I heard Aaron's timer go off. I knew it's like, well, that's it.
Hold on, Jeff. Hold on. They're saying the stream's frozen.
Oh hell.
Not sure why.
Audio is fine. Let me just see. Is everybody frozen? Let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, maybe I should turn the Xbox off. Maybe that'll help stream quality. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because you got multiple stuff running. That's probably why. It's glitchy as F, what you're saying.
No, you don't have to. It should be fine.
I try to challenge Colin. It stayed neck and neck right till the very end. And Greg makes a very good point. The WrestleMania question, I'm legitimately pissed off at myself because I was at one of those WrestleManias in California.
Let me see here. No, I don't want the ad. I'm trying to see if it's still glitching. Yeah, there's not. Can you guys hear us at least?
If you guys can hear us or see us, let us know in the chat room. That we can keep going or not. I'll have to restart or whatever. Just let us know. I don't know how we're going to restart, though, without Aaron.
Buffering image is frozen. Audio goes in and out, but it's clear and can hear you guys.
I will just go for it then. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, just missing the Mania. When I've been to a Mania that was in California, and the fact that I had a chance to go to every one that was in California, except for WrestleMania 7, because WrestleMania 2, because I was 3 at the time, but didn't even follow wrestling back then.
Right.
It's just like, oh, God. And the minute I said New York and it was wrong, I immediately thought what it was and knew what it was and thought he's going to get this right and this is going to be it right here.
I almost guessed Florida, to be honest.
I almost said Florida too because it's been there so many freaking times recently, and I've been to one in Florida too.
Yeah, but so, I rethought it. It's like I think it's only been in recent years they've been in Florida, so that's why I was California's had what 2, 7, 16, 12.
12 also 12, 2, 7, 12, 16, 21, and 35.
31.
31 in 2015. I get the 5s and the 1s mixed up.
Okay, they can at least hear us clearly. So it's all you really need. You don't need. You saw our faces for an hour, so you can just listen to us now.
It's all I need is more of our ugly mugs on your screens for the next few minutes.
Pretty much.
But yeah, people were in the chat on the other stream, the live premiere stream, saying, "Is this the end of WTC?" And I leave that up to you, honestly, because I said I was done until you brought the tournament up, and then I put myself back in that hat, and here I am now, an hour later, and I'm still not the champion. So I'm officially, as far as I'm concerned, unless somebody beats you and gets a wild hair out my butt, I'm done. So it's completely up to you at this point if you're going to continue on. And do you face old people? Do you bring in new faces? What are you thinking on your end?
I mean, I have no problem keeping defending the title. I don't. I mean, I feel like somebody out there almost has to beat me.
Right.
Like, I thought it was going to be Mark, but it wasn't Mark. I thought it was going to be you, too, and it wasn't you either. It could have been Chris Cass. It could have been Jeremy. One of those guys that were close. But it wasn't.
There have been so many close calls. And remember, it's, I have to out you here, so sorry. But that hype video you put together was nothing short of AJ Styles level phenomenal.
Thank you.
And God bless the use of the font that you use, which is a wink to your past, if people know what I'm talking about. And just very well done, and it showed how dominant, because Aaron and Chris both said "and still" about 562 times.
Well, the sad thing is that wasn't even all of them. It was just the ones where the video worked. Because I downloaded a couple, and it's like the video doesn't really work for this, so I had to cut them out for the purposes of time and the background music that I had.
Yeah, and I had forgotten that it was the Daniels AJ question that had led to the Greg Cherry rule.
Yeah. Go figure, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time causes me such grief.
Yeah,
two of them, actually.
It's so funny how much of No DQ's history ties back to those two guys.
Yeah.
One or the other, because it's our question. They were both on the show a couple times as interview subjects.
Yep.
They were the main event of the PWG show we all went to, as far as us West Coasters went to back in 2005. They went an hour that night.
Mm-hmm.
Hour draw. PWG title versus X Division title. So it was those two guys, and I'm so happy that both of them are getting a shot in the two major companies.
Yeah.
Because Daniels, God, he's got to be in his mid-40s now, doesn't he?
I think he's in his late 40s, honestly.
And he's getting a shot with Frankie and Sky. So, and Sky had a birthday recently. Happy birthday, Scorpio Sky, if you're watching. Which you're not. That's okay. Calling for the North Pole Gauntlet. What?
I think he wants me to run a gauntlet next season, which is basically like a tag team turmoil.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But, I've actually thought about doing something like that, like bringing in about 10 challengers and then randomly drawing numbers. And if I get like number 5 or something, that's fine. But if I go in anything other than number 1, the first match I have, I don't have champion's advantage.
Right, exactly.
So, like, the first question would go to who had just previously won the gauntlet, so they have the advantage, essentially. And it would just come down to me getting the right questions.
Yeah, exactly. I would think we need to do something to change it up. And no, Fink's not going to be on Virtue. Let's be honest, based on Fink's medical state. Okay, come on.
I mean, if he could do it, I would definitely. I definitely like to test myself.
I would love to see Meltzer actually step up and drop a pair and actually.
I've tried, honestly. I
won't.
sent out a tweet a couple different times to him, and I never got anything. So
Meltzer won't. And you know what? Alvarez, I'd like to see him do it too. He was a former No DQ guest or Mayhem guest, whatever you want to call us back then.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
he can come back on, but the problem is that they consider themselves a step up, and more power to them. But there's a reason that they're getting discredited more and more in the industry as each passing day occurs.
Right.
So there you go. What do you guys in the chat room want to see on WTC? Do you guys want to see the gauntlet that Virtue suggested? Do you want to see a set number of questions versus a set as far as a time limit versus a question limit, or
I think the 20-question format is good for regular matches. I think the Iron Man, like the time thing, was just a one-off because it was the two of us.
Right. Well, you and I have been saying for 2 years that you and I are the money match.
And yeah, I definitely agree.
And Lord knows we had 200 viewers in the chat at one point.
Yeah.
Tonight, so which is great for Aaron and for us, and just for everybody involved. It was a really cool thing to see that much interaction, and the No DQ team chat was lively and bustling. It was really cool, and I spent the day job hunting and watching Dawn of Justice, so I'm pooped on multiple levels now.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen people super chat for a live premiere before. And there were a couple.
Cool.
Yeah, there were a couple in there. I was like, "Wow!" I didn't realize how big this would go. I was hoping it would be a big deal because, well, like you said, we were the money match, and the match itself was epic.
Yeah, I kind of like Scott's idea of having the idea of people having to earn their way to title opportunity. Maybe Greg should host more matchups and build the challengers. It's one of those things where Greg has hosted for so long, and people are giving him so much crap for not defending the title.
Yeah.
So he's had 2 title defenses in the last few weeks now. I say we just open up the queue, if you will, and start having fresh faces. I know people want to see Mark again, or they want to see Kyle again, or they want it. But it's like
Kyle's lost 4 times. We don't
exactly. So people need to understand that there are other challengers that want to go. There's people honestly. There's honestly people out there that have bitched to me every single tweet I send out, or every single video I appear on, or that you appear on, or this somebody talks about you.
Yeah,
he never answered my challenge. Well,
it's like
no DQ MISC at gmail.com. Subject line WTC challenge. Send in that 30-second video. Aaron said it's about 100 times in the last 2 years.
Send in your Skype information, which is kind of important.
It's kind of a big deal because we're doing this on Skype, and we're seeing how well it's going. So,
well, this is actually Discord. This isn't Skype. I couldn't get Skype to work.
That's the same. We're not doing it on Skype, and look how well it's going.
Yeah.
So, plus we can't do Skype live because they haven't hooked those two up yet, and Hangouts is just ridiculous. But if you guys want to see, there you go. Chris Castle's a tag match. You and me against him and Mark.
I don't even know how we'd work that unless we were all in the same place. Because, it's not like we could answer for each other. The logistics of that seem like it would be a nightmare.
Well, the 2 of them are in Halifax, so that makes sense for them. But opposite sides of the continent, so
yeah, they're in the same city. We're not even the same time zone.
Yeah, we're in the same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're opposite sides of the continent, let alone the country. So there's just no way. A battle royal. How do you do a battle royal with 20 guys in the same shot? Yeah, right. Aaron would lose his mind. Aaron would lose his damn mind.
Unless you get a ring and have an actual battle royal, then maybe.
Yeah, I might win now, and you can't throw my fat ass over the top rope. I could be the Braun Strowman of the Battle Royal. Nobody would touch me.
Unless it's Colin Jost or Michael Che.
Bring those 2 on, too. I'm so sick of them already. I hope they get their ass beat on Sunday.
Virtue says we need a tough enough or an NXT for new trivia opponents.
Right.
You know, we've actually talked about doing something, not exactly in that vein, but we've talked about like having like a pre-screening like Jeopardy does to be like, okay, are you going to have a shot or are you just going to be cannon fodder?
Yeah, because seriously, Jeopardy they have live games, and they thin the herd, man.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's definitely possible if you want to do that, or if Cass wants to do that, or somebody who's been on the show before and knows what it's about. If somebody wants to do that to find me trivia opponents for season 7, go for it.
I think what we should do is collaborate, and I actually like where this is going. You want to collaborate with me on this? Let's do this. Let's you and I together come up with questions. Probably you more than me because my questions are like ridiculous.
Your questions are insane.
Yeah, could be. I want to know what NWA champion reigned in 1954. And people are like, hey?
Yeah. Okay, for those of you who never saw the match that Jeff hosted between me and Kyle, one of Jeff's questions was, who has spent the most total in-ring time at the King of the Ring pay-per-views? Who in their right mind would know that? I know we are ridiculous for trivia knowledge, and I know Cass is too, but who the hell would know that? In 10 seconds.
10 seconds, exactly. Take a wild guess. I still don't answer that question off the top of my head, by the way.
And I only guessed Angle because he wrestled 3 times at the one King of the Ring, so.
Right, exactly.
And none of those were exactly short either.
When in doubt, the answer is 42 or Kurt Angle. There you go. Kurt Angle's answered everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Until Sunday. That's going to be rough watching Kurt Angle retire.
Yeah. Virtue, nobody wants Kyle. We've beat him enough. Like Jeff's beat him. I've beat him twice. Fame beat him.
He is the Simpsons meme. Stop it. He's already dead.
Pretty much.
Poor Kyle. The Simpsons meme. Poor Kyle. Buy his shirt, though, on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Buy one of my shirts. I just went through an hour with this dude.
That's right. ProWrestlingTees.com/PSensation.
Exactly.
Find Greg's shirt. He's got, what, you got 4 up there now?
Yeah, I got 4 up there. Once I sell 25 of them total, I'll be able to expand like Rift has. But
I think somebody should buy me a 2XL. Now, see, here's the thing, Jeff Meacham shirt. I still don't have one of those.
There you go.
So somebody buy that for me as a late birthday gift, and I'll be your bestest friend.
Chris Cass makes a good point. Everyone is all talk until they get on the show, and then they get embarrassed.
It's so funny because I found myself very easily slipping into the cocky heel roll, sitting over here with Aaron on the pay-per-view wrap-up we did, whatever it was, Rumble or whatever show
Elimination
that was.
Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. He was over here for, and I called you out. I was like, yeah, I'm back into it. And then as it got closer, when we did the tape, I'm like, oh, man, I'm not ready for this. An hour. I'm not ready for this shit.
Hey, for not being ready, you only lost by 3.
Yeah, and I was not. I was shooting when I said I was soaking freaking wet. Both of our legs were shaking. It was intense, and it was impactful on my system.
I legit passed out on the floor after the match.
I believe
Second straight match in a row I've done that.
I believe it because, well, it's just, it's just crazy. Okay, instead of skips, you get tags to your partner. Oh, okay. All right. So Chris is staying for a tag match. We tag our partner, and now I'm frozen altogether. According to Virtue, this is going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we probably won't go too long. We just wanted to do a little wrap up, let you know what we thought of this. We'll probably only go to like 10 o'clock Eastern.
I also have only Top Chat. For some reason, it keeps not letting me do live chat.
Virtue says Google Hangouts. I looked into Google Hangouts, and it's like associated with YouTube now. I think they're getting rid of Google Hangouts altogether. Because I was looking into that because that's how Jeff and I used to do Coast to Coast, and for whatever reason, it was taking me straight to YouTube. So I don't think Google Hangouts is.
Hangouts is still available on an app basis, but it's so glitchy.
Yeah,
it's so bad, and it's like it's like Google is almost daring you to use it just so you make sure you go to YouTube instead.
It's very possible.
What WTF? I don't even know what my face. I can't imagine.
Well, you're paused and you look like you're either sleeping or you got stabbed in the leg. I can't tell.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and also, I want to bring this up. Hey, your face update. Cool. Somebody in the chat, before the Iron Man match, and Jeff knows where I'm going with this, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And this was a quote, and I'll show you. Before the match happened, somebody says, if Greg Cherry wins this match, I will cut my dick off. Sucks to be you, buddy. Sucks to be you.
I think we're going to need a little proof of the Bobatizing. We're going to need video documentation of this. Just don't show
hold on. Let me pull it up.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
Hold on. Can you see the chat? Can you see what I'm talking about?
I can't see your video at all, so I have no idea what you're showing. So.
Well, if you guys can see that, that's what I'm talking about.
So yeah, I think he should privately show. Make it show Aaron. I don't want to see it, but you know.
Hey, they were the one who they're probably like a celebrity who said they'd leave for Canada if Trump won. So
yeah, I'm still sitting here 2.5 years later.
I didn't mean you, but okay.
I was
no politics. Not getting into it. Not as different.
That's a whole other Iron Man challenge.
Yeah. Marsh Leonard says do live trivia matches.
We have talked about that.
We've talked about it, but you can see how well this live video is going with 2 people.
I think if